Hello, 10th graders. It might be hard to believe that you're getting close to the halfway point of your high school career. Your next task today and tomorrow is to make course requests for your 11th grade school year at Northfield High School. We're going to take you through that real quick here in the next 10 to 15 minutes as far as some reminders of where to find the info and how to tackle this process. So please put your iPads down or away. Please lock in and focus on what's on the screen up in front of you, and we'll get you through this as quickly as we can. The place to access this information, people, is through the district website, more specifically through the Northfield High School page. And then, once you're at the high school page, you have to go to student support right underneath Northfield High School. It might be on your iPad in a little drop down menu, student support. And then if you scroll down, course registration and planning for 2026-27. There's some intro information that we've put out there for parents to give you a heads up, to give everyone a heads up on when this process needs to be done. Then we're going to take a quick look at the new course registration guide for this year, for this coming school year, and then hop into some of the instructions. So again, just watch the screen and please listen. Opening the course registration guide should open a new tab, and from there, really it's a 60-some page document that we're not going to take you through bit by bit, but we're going to preview a little bit of what's important. Here on the opening pages, what's most important is the reality that every single class offered at Northfield High School is identified on pages 1, course requirements as far as graduation required classes, and then the next page has all of our electives, world languages, and then areas of interest. So that's a quick list of everything we offer and a great way to locate a course description in the guide. If you want to learn anything about any of the courses we offer, you just need to go to the corresponding page number for that course. The rest of the guide, just so you're aware, contains some introductory information. This is info we send out to any and every college that has a student apply to it from Northfield High School. Some info about some of our advanced and college level courses. Some information about previous school graduating years in terms of where they are now. And then we're going to pause on the right half of this page for two things. One is a review of the course drop add policy. We need you guys to know the timeline of this process is such that you need to think about and put in some accurate course requests because it gets really hard to change your schedule later. That's regardless of if you're planning for full-time 7 classes at Northfield High School or you're thinking about any class opportunity that takes you outside of Northfield High School, whether that's PSEO or an online class. We need you to fill up your course requests first for Northfield High School, and then we'll come back and talk about those other opportunities. The other item, bottom right corner of page 5, is the graduation requirements. Okay, you guys are the class of 2028, and what that means is you are the first class that gets the opportunity to take personal finance as a graduation requirement. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Following pages get at planning for some life beyond high school, whether it's a type of college or a career or an NCAA plan. If you've got any of those things that you're curious about, there's some information on those 2 pages. And then we provide some info about how we support our students at Northfield High School, whether it's through some intervention work or some support models, including EL/ML services, special education. And then there's about 3 pages worth of dual credit opportunities. We'll talk about that again as we move forward. But you guys are on the verge of considering and thinking about some details that have to do with post-secondary enrollment options or PSEO. Please know that we will be hosting an info session about PSEO next Tuesday, February 10th in the auditorium, first half of Flex. That'll be your time and space to learn some general info about PSEO, and then you can set up an appointment with your counselor to talk details. Please, up until then, get your course requests entered for us in the system. Then the rest of this guide is laid out department by department, interest area by interest area, with a course description of anything and everything we offer. So if we cycle all the way back to the beginning, this is where you use the table of contents, find a class that you have heard about or you're trying to learn more about or is brand new because it's got the new right next to it. And if you want to learn more about anything that we have coming next year, this is the place to get the details. All the course descriptions were provided by our teaching staff, the people who actually teach the class. We really encourage you to rely on the info in here rather than word of mouth or word from other students. Sometimes what happens then is students talk about classes based on who's taught it in the past or who's teaching it now. And honestly, we don't know who's going to teach classes next year until after this process. You guys drive the number of classes we offer based on the number of requests you make. So that's our course registration guide. Back on the web page, if you look right underneath it, there's a link to the important packet. And what you're going to do, and I'll remind you right at the end, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go grab this packet and you're going to download it into Notability, because then you can make it your own and you can make notes on it. I know some of you have been planning classes for next year already based on the emails and the Schoology message I've been getting. Now it's your chance to do that on the documents we're providing. There's some pre-planning information about what to use and how to use it. We'll go through it on this packet. We'll take you on a little tour of numbers 1, 2, and 3 in this packet. And then number 4 is some advice, basically to make sure you're talking about your options with your current teachers, with your parents or guardians, and with your counselor. Ways to get a hold of us are located here. Another reminder of the drop add or schedule change policy. And then we'll come back to this set by set of 11 instructions for how to actually request courses. The next 2 pages contain, for you guys, what has happened and what is happening right now in terms of the classes you took in 9th grade and the classes you're taking this year. And then we provide planning space for next year and the year after. Honestly, once you move into 11th grade and try and make some decisions, it's really important to remember it's a 2-year plan. You've got a couple more years to get all the things in, whatever all those things might look like for you. We remind you of all of our grad requirements at the top of each of these pages. Again, reminding you that we've got a personal finance piece to tackle either in 11th or 12th grade. If you feel like you don't have room in 11th grade, you can move it to 12th grade and save it for your senior year experience. That's fine. Also on this planning grid, it's a space to enter both course numbers and names. And we have these areas for alternates. You guys have done the drill before. Remember, we need backup plans, especially for electives. If something doesn't get offered or doesn't fit in your schedule, we as counselors always go right to your alternates. So everything that's produced in your schedule that comes out in August, you created and you owned. The next 4 pages of this packet contain a course listing by department of all the classes we offer. Reasons you might want to use these 4 pages. 1, notice that in green, anything that's new for next year is highlighted. So if you see something there that's interesting that you want to learn more about, again, you can flip back to the registration guide and get a course description. 2, if you look on the columns to the far right, you'll notice what grade levels can take these courses offered. So if you see something that's super interesting, I'll go all the way down to the end. We have a new work-based learning offering. I'm sorry, it's not all the way at the end. It's at the end of the business department. A new work-based learning seminar and experience. It's only for 12th graders, so it's not something you can build into your plans for next year, but something you can look forward to as a senior if you would like. So use the grade levels, and then you can see semester versus full year course experience. Little asterisks mean that it either comes with a prerequisite or perhaps teacher placement or perhaps a grade you have to have earned in a previous course, and those are all outlined in the registration guide as well. If you see an asterisk, do not assume you can just sign up for a class. There might be some things you need to have in place in order to do so. So what we tell students when this part of the document's in Notability, it's pretty fun to use your favorite color highlighter and start highlighting classes that you want to take. And then as you continue to refine and build your plan, you can start filling that information in on these 2 pages. Lastly, after the 4 pages of course listing, we have a frequently asked questions page. We know you guys have great questions, and we think some of those might be answered on this last page. So please take a look at this last page. Then, if you're not able to find the answer, you can reach out to your counselor, or tomorrow during Raider Time, counselors will be stationed at locations that your Raider Time teachers will identify. You'll be able to step out in the hallway and ask us questions. So if you want to save any questions until tomorrow and see if you can get them answered, that'd be great. To bring it full circle, back at the beginning, the first page of this packet, here are 11 quick friendly reminder steps for how to actually make your course requests in Skyward. Basically, reminders are only you can make course requests. Parents can't do it for you. It has to be through your account. We've got a second really short video that reviews how to go into Skyward and find the request courses for 26-27 tab. It's in your Skyward account on your schedule. You'll see it right above your schedule. But if you need a quick reminder and walkthrough, or if you've been new to Northfield High School in the last year, you might either want to read these instructions or open what will be a video that appears on the web page. It'll be underneath video for current 11th graders. We'll add a new link as soon as we have that video ready, which should be by the time you watch this. So now's the time to go ahead and get your iPad back out, get to this web page. Remember, student support page, Northfield High School. Underneath course registration and planning, you can look at the registration guide. You can open up the packet and download it in Notability and do some planning, do some preparation before tomorrow. Tomorrow should be about entering those course requests in Skyward. Today, getting the info in your hands, combining it with what you learned at yesterday's Raider Elective Showcase, and getting you ready to do your requests tomorrow. We hope this gives you the info you need. Best of luck, and again, never hesitate to reach out with a question. Have a good one.